Welcome to WildHER Wisdom, the podcast where sassy meets savvy. Join Shelley and Amy as they dive into the heart of womanhood, blending inspiration, laughter, and authentic conversations. In each episode, they celebrate the wild and wise woman in you, exploring everything from personal growth and self-care to career and relationships. So whether you're looking for a spark of joy, a dose of empowerment, or a good laugh, you're in the right place. Let's get started on today's journey into WildHER wisdom.
Oh my gosh, Amy,
Yes.
happy New Year.
Happy 2025. I am so glad. I don't know about you, but I am so glad to kiss 2024 goodbye.
100%. And can I also say, even though our listeners can't see us, we're so close that I am recording this in a hotel room in my jam jams with my chamomile tea. Amy gets to see me in my pink jams. No one ever sees me in color.
No, you're right. You know what? That didn't even strike me that you're wearing color. Oh my
Only when
goodness.
I sleep because I sleep with an eye mask on, so I don't see
Oh
myself.
no,
It's
nobody
totally
sees you.
fine.
It's okay.
Well,
I didn't even
listen, I'm getting wild. This is my second cup of chamomile tea, so look out, world. Look out,
hold
world.
on. Just hold on. That's all it is. Yeah.
I know that
Crazy.
your 2025 has started off like gangbusters, like mine
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
Like, cannot wait to dive in and just chat about things. I'm sure people have missed us immensely
I
because we've
know.
been
I
gone
did
for
put our
so long.
Christmas picture up there though from this last Christmas. I
I
did put that out
loved
there.
it. I
I
loved it.
know.
You're really holding us down because I basically
Well,
went MIA for a quarter.
Well, yeah, but you had a lot of shit going on. And, even I trailed off on trying to keep up with social media. So we'll both just set an intention to try to make sure that stays connected on there because I think that folks like that. They like hearing
I
from
think
us.
they do too.
But I
I
gotta
mean,
say, I gotta say, going back to that Christmas picture, not to interrupt you, but going back to that Christmas picture, what people can't see in that picture, and you did it, I think, last Christmas too, because you always have the same glass that you're holding with your glass of wine. And so you're like, my husband takes the picture, and you're like, Is he getting my Arby's glass in the picture? Make sure he gets my
yes,
Arby's glass." And so I'm like
yes.
trying not to bust out laughing while we're trying to take these pictures.
Like I'm
But
obsessed with Christmas, as you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I collect vintage. I say vintage, which sounds weird because the 80s
I
was not
know.
that long ago in my mind,
No, I
as I'm
know.
getting ready to click over to 52 here in
You
another less
are.
than a week.
Yeah, pretty
But
soon.
I collect vintage Arby's Christmas glasses. Did you remember like
Oh
back
yeah.
in the day?
Oh yeah. I had them too.
Yeah.
In fact,
Be-
I have some wine glasses from, it's got to be Arby's. I mean, they had a bunch of different kinds, and I have
yeah,
some over in my wine rack too.
they're amazing. They are,
Yeah.
they're a family heirloom. I have three separate sets now. I have
Yep.
three kids, so I'm like, ooh, each one of you
Mm.
gets your own set of Arby's glasses.
Yes. And then they're all like, "Thanks, Mom."
You silly goose. All right. All right. I'm just
Me
so excited for us to be together, and there's just so
too.
many great things that are going on. You
I
are
know.
busier than I'll get out. So I want to get right
Oh,
into it. Okay.
you are too.
So you said you were so glad to put 2024 behind
Yeah.
you. How did you
Yeah.
close it out? Like, how did you close it out?
So, really, I mean, we didn't have to travel far for any sort of Christmas gatherings, family or friends or anything. So we stayed around home. And New Year's Eve, I do not like to travel out on New Year's Eve. So even if we go out at all, it's to some friends like really close by that, like, 2, 3 miles away, we can drive back roads. And so, but we stayed home and my kids, we had our kids around and some extra friends with us. We played darts, we played games, we had a shit ton of food. We had the sparkling juice for the kids, the champagne for the adults. Like we were just kind of we were, celebrating here, but just at home and
Yeah.
cozy, just kind
Yeah.
of nice and quiet and just watch the ball drop. I think we stayed up for a little while longer and played some games and then went to bed. But I'm one of those that has to see the closure of some of things. So like I have to watch the
Oh,
ball drop. So that's a random thing. I have to watch it because I need to see the closure. This is even when I was pregnant with my oldest son. I fell asleep and set my alarm so that I could get up and watch the ball drop.
oh my gosh. You are hysterical. So I'm with you. I love to be at home. It's my favorite place. All my things are there, my
Yep.
people are there, my animals are there. I don't
Yep.
like to travel around the holidays, so we stayed home too. But
Hmm.
I am, you know how some people have FOMO? I have
Yeah.
JOMO, joy of missing out. And so
Yeah.
I don't have to watch the ball drop. I
Yeah.
assume if I'm not present for something, it's not any fun. So like if the ball drops and I wasn't watching,
It was
nobody
no
had a
big
good
deal.
time. No big NBD, NBD. But I did stay up this year, like shockingly, because like I
Good.
like to go to bed at like 7:30 or
Yeah.
8 o'clock. And
Right.
I stayed up this year. My son was home from college, his girlfriend was
Yeah.
over, and we clicked on CNN like
Yeah.
right at midnight and caught
Uh-huh.
like the drunkest Anderson
Yeah.
Cooper and Andy Cohen. It was so awesome. Super happy that they had jobs the next day. They were 9 shots in. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I knew you were trying to spend as much time as you could with Xander while he was home.
Yeah.
Every waking moment.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
totally get that. Okay, so then speaking of just like the holidays in general, what was your most unexpected moment maybe over break that you had, or just something that totally caught you off guard and surprised you? Was there anything? I know you're a
Okay.
planner. We have that in common. We like to plan all the things,
Yeah.
but like, was there something just kind of,
Yeah. So I'm super hard to buy for it, right? Because like if I see something that I like, I buy it. Like that's kind of like
yeah,
the vibe that my husband and I are blessed enough or
yeah,
big enough
yeah,
consumers to do
yep,
so. And so
yep.
Christmas is always like, let's not get each other. Like, what are we gonna get each other?
We do the same
And
thing.
so I did get him tickets to see MJ the musical because I knew
Mm,
he wanted to see it, but like he wouldn't buy that.
right.
And he has like these presents for me under the tree. And I'm like, the fuck did he get me? Like,
Yeah.
what is that? What's in there? So he like piles them up for me Christmas morning. They're so heavy. I think they're full of gold bars. I have no idea what it is.
You're hoping
Hoping,
they're full of gold bars.
right? Well, thank
Surprise, honey.
you.
I won the lottery.
I'm gonna retire now. Um, but they were full of 2 cases of my favorite water, which is Acqua Panna. I have
Uh-huh.
some right here. It's like
Ah, yep.
such a great water. I can't even explain. It's so refreshing. It's so wonderful. But he got me 2 cases of it, but apparently, I'm not paying attention to stuff all the time. I'm so busy. Apparently,
Yeah.
when they came, the cases weren't like well put together. So he had to like mishmash them into other boxes that he found around the house. And he's like, when I was carrying them upstairs, I thought that you were gonna hear like the slosh slot. And I'm like, I
I guess
didn't.
I'm not paying attention.
Right. But I was super excited and I'm like, nobody touched my water. This is like for the girl that has everything, getting me two
Yeah.
cases of Aquapana was like, we did make some other cool stuff too, but I would say like
Right.
didn't expect it, but loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love that because we kind of do the same thing. We don't always intentionally buy things, but we'll see things or like, the kids want to get something for dad. And so, we buy things that way. But like it's not anything super big usually, just like a gesture because it's kind of the same thing. If there's something we want, we
Right.
get it or we talk about it and figure it out, whatever.
Right.
So
And you can't have
yep.
enough Aquapana. You just can't have enough Aquapana.
I've never tried that, so I will have to try that.
I'll have to have you come over and I'll be like, I'll put like a towel over my arm like a sommelier, point,
Yeah.
whisk it around, sniff it. What are you getting notes of? Hey, fresh water.
Perfect.
Uh, all right. So I know what you did for New Year's. This is
Yeah.
like a little bit controversial. Like not controversial, but there's people in both camps. Let me just
Yeah.
say, is Cody in my Peloton class, or not Cody? It's Maddie in my Peloton class to say good shit or bullshit.
Uh-huh.
So are you a resolution person? And if so, what's your resolutions? Are you like resolutions are overrated? You can do resolutions any time of year.
Okay, so I guess sort of that second camp, resolutions any time of year. I don't I don't like to set anything that's called a New Year's resolution, partly because I don't like people telling me that's what I have to do. Meaning,
Oh,
if you set something that you want to do at the beginning of the year, it's called a New Year's resolution. You have to do it at the beginning of the year. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I do have um, like goals or intentions or things that I want to try to maybe focus more on or things like that. I don't choose to call them New Year's resolutions because I feel like there is, like you said, it's kind of controversial. There's a little bit of a connotation of like, if you don't follow through, or you only got till the third week of
Right.
January and then it's going to fall off, or the first week of
Right.
February and then you're not going to do it. Like, I still think it's good to, maybe think about what you did in 2024 and think about what you want to do in 2025.
Right.
So for me, I am considered, I would say TMI, but it's not TMI to you, nor is
I'm
it if
literally
anybody
sitting here
uses.
in my pajamas.
I know, but I'm thinking like, and whoever listens to this, they're gonna just like they're used to us saying whatever the fuck comes to our mind, right? Because
Right.
this is what this is all about. So I am officially post menopausal. I had my last
Congratulations.
cycle. Thank you. Last December 2024, at some point during that month, that was officially my last cycle was I had been a year without it. So I'm officially post menopausal. So, focusing on health for me in general, with keeping that in mind, because in 2023, I lost like 15 pounds. I got super healthy. 2024, they found me again. And part of it
Stalkers.
is
Stalkers.
stalkers, fucking stalkers. And so part of it was, I was officially in that menopausal phase and just peri and then, in that. And so, like, trying to give myself some grace, although I'm super hard on myself, but just being in that postmenopausal phase, knowing that officially now, because I read that book by Dr. Mary Claire
Yes.
Haverman, I think it is, um, The New Menopause, which is
Hmm.
fantastic. If anybody has not read it, that I would
I
highly
have
recommend
it.
it.
I
You
have
have,
it. I just
yeah.
haven't read it.
Okay, it's a good one. You'll learn some things. I thought I knew a lot, and then you'll learn some things too. So it's really cool, but just focusing on health in general, um, is going to be something that I want to do. And then last year I had set the intention to really concentrate on networking more.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, you did.
networking, yeah, yeah, networking for business because I want to grow the coaching and the speaking and all of that piece and just kind of more collaborations. And I did a lot of that last year, and I made a lot of great connections and started a bunch of new collaborations. It was fantastic. I want to keep that momentum going to a certain extent. And then the other thing that really comes to mind is just being more involved in causes that are close to my heart. So something that's
Yeah.
meaningful. So whether that's, being more involved in some of the things I did over the year was connecting with some nonprofits. You and I have friends that have nonprofits. Just being more involved in like causes that are meaningful, make a difference, and that are close to my heart. And then maybe that leads into even being like on a board for some of those certain things so that you're
Yeah.
part of the mission more, like you coming from being the board princess, I swear you're on.
Oh, girl, I'm trying to ratchet it back. I'm trying to
I
ratchet
know
it
you
back, but
are.
it's
I know
hard.
you are. But I think that's fun to be a part of it in that way. So, yeah, I mean, those are some of the things.
That's awesome. Like I'm
Yeah.
feeling a little like my goals are like to learn how to make the perfect omelet. Again,
But
not a resolution, but an intention and a goal.
yeah, yeah.
Been working
So
hard on it.
okay, so then is there anything else and maybe anything that maybe feels a little scary or bold or something you want to like drop a bomb on here?
Like bomb dropping stuff because you know me, I'm like if I want to do something, it's kind of like buying something like I'm gonna do this new thing. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
do it. But you know, I've been lamenting about this plantar fasciitis that I've been dealing with. And
you
so I
have.
feel like it's coming to a conclusion. It's
Hmm.
doing better. Gonna officially start running again next year. But I signed up for the Office 5K in
Okay.
Scranton, Pennsylvania. And
Oh my
so like
gosh.
I know, right? Like I have to dress like an office character. I don't have to,
Uh,
but am I going to? Obviously.
yeah.
So trying to figure out who I should dress like, what episode's my favorite. I could use some help
Mm-hmm.
from the listeners or any person. So just trying to get myself back into the running groove. That's where I feel really good when I'm running, 4 or 5 times a week. And having that time off was just a little rough for me. So I think things
Yeah.
along that line. But like I'm rolling into senior year with my daughter in 2026.
Yeah. Same.
So I'm like, we're already talking about senior pictures. I've scheduled
Yep.
a photographer,
Did you?
college
That's the
visit.
next thing for me. Hmm.
Yeah, all of those things. And so it's like, I'm just trying to be like super present. Like, I don't want to do too much that's not with her because
Yeah.
Xander's been gone. This is second year. It's like,
Yep.
holy shit,
Yeah.
I'm almost going to be an empty nester. So that's really
Great.
like my intention to be as present as I can be with this schedule that I persistently keep.
Yeah, that's a great one. I didn't even, now I feel a bit guilty on my side. I didn't even put it in there
No.
because I've got the same thing. My daughter's going to be a senior in the end of 2025, graduating in 2026. And we were just talking about scheduling the photographer for senior pictures. And then we've been consistently, it seems like for weeks or months, talking about different colleges she's interested in. And so which ones we want to try to plan to
Yeah.
visit maybe over spring break time and,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It goes so fast.
I know. I know.
Mm-hmm.
hmm It sure does. It sure does. Well, let's see here. What else can we talk about? I mean, that's what we have. That's one of the things we have in common that I kind of forgot about, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were running quite a bit
Yeah.
last year still. You even ran, I feel like you still ran a few of them, even with that plantar fasciitis, didn't you?
I
Didn't
did. I
you push
really
through and
regretted
you
it. I
probably shouldn't
really
have?
regretted it. Yeah. So, okay, I want to ask you. So I know that you had a super busy holiday season, and
Yeah.
that was, you know, most people do, or not most people. Actually, I know people that don't, and that's a little bit of a bummer. But so
hmm
you've talked about like your very big intentions that you have and all that stuff,
hmm
and you're super great and you're healthy, and I love all that. And you're probably still drinking celery juice. But what's your
I've
go-to?
slacked off on celery juice. I will tell you that. I have slacked off just the last couple of months, but
Okay.
yes.
What is your go-to strategy to shake off like the holiday fog? Like I was off for 2 weeks for
Yeah.
work. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the podcast. I'm like, what the fuck do we even do here? Like,
Right. Who
what
are you
even
people?
happens?
Where do I sit?
What do I do here? So how do you shake that off? Like how do you get yourself going?
So, being a planner and being an organizer, I guess I like to do I like to do the reflection piece. So the last couple of years, my husband and I will go up and we'll spend a weekend at our cottage and we'll sit down and we'll talk about like the previous year recap and
Oh
then
yeah.
set kind of goals, intentions, and ideas for the upcoming year. So I like to
Hmm.
do that. That's how I like to do it. I just like to I like to recap everything that kind of went through in 2024 and think about what I want to do in 2025. And
Hmm.
I always come up with, I think last year, my friend Mel Robbins had some sort of outline of something that you
I
can
just
use.
ordered her book.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's
It's one
like
of my
on back
best.
order. It's on back order.
Oh, is it really?
Like I'm not getting
I
it until February.
I pre-ordered it and you can listen to it on Audible right now, I think, if
No,
you
I
have
want
Audible.
I want the physical copy.
Well, you can get both.
I know. We'll see. We'll see. It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
rereading Atomic Habits right now and a couple
Oh,
other
yeah.
things, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. So she had hers last year, and so this year I just kind of me and my friend Chat came up with one. So
Hmm.
we're actually a little bit behind right now. We were supposed to do it this last weekend, but our whole household has been dealing with one layer of crud versus another. So, but that's
Girl,
kind of like
okay. Not to
what?
interrupt you, but the weather keeps trying to go over me as well too, and I am
Yeah,
downing so much Zicam. I'm
right.
basically a walking bottle of Zicam right now.
Yeah, yeah. I know. We're all in different stages of it, one way or another. It's just like it's absolutely insane. But
Okay,
but
stop.
that just helps me kind of refocus, I guess. That's
Hey, I
yeah.
love it. We'll have to get your friend Mel Robbins to come on our podcast.
Oh, I'm sure she's not busy. Yeah.
She would
I
love
will
to. What
tell
else are
you
you doing?
though, I what?
What else are you doing, Mel?
What else are you
Busy?
doing? I don't even know. But I will tell you just as a side note because I have been following her for quite some time and I had the pleasure of doing a personal one-on-one coaching session with
Ah.
her. That 5 second rule book that she came out with that,
Hmm.
many years ago, that was, fantastic and kind of a kickstart for her. When
Hmm.
you listen to this book and you read this book and you've maybe been following her for a minute, this one just feels really different. This one just feels like this is what she was meant to share. It's really kind of you
People
can
are
just
getting like it tattooed on their bodies.
I know.
Like it's like a
I
cult
know.
following.
Yeah,
And I've
I
also
know.
always wanted to start a cult. So way to go, Mel. Like
Way
it.
to go. Way to go. But yeah, it's a really good one. So I'm anxious for you to get that one and then we can maybe talk about
Oh,
that and
yes.
we'll put in a call and see if she's busy, but
Sure,
whatever.
sure she's not. Super
But
easy.
so speaking about like, reflection and balance and stuff.
Hmm.
How about you? How do you manage to carve out any sort of me time during, the craziness of the season or like getting back to work in the swing of things? Like how do you still try to manage to give yourself some time?
I 1,000% failed that test over the holidays.
Mm,
So I take a lot of time off because being with my family is like the most important thing to me. And so
yeah,
I took the week of Thanksgiving off,
right.
and then I took 2 weeks off over Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you want to call it. So from February or from
Yeah.
Jan sorry, December 20th until January 2nd, I was off.
Okay.
And I really didn't. I mean, I was just lost. I mean, I was like
Hmm.
drinking, eating,
Hmm.
cooking. I think I hosted 5 events at my house in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And that was just the 2 weeks of Christmas time, not to mention like the junior league thing that I did before and all of that.
Right.
So I really failed, but it was like I knew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm giving myself grace. Like during this time, I'm dedicating myself to memory, family. My parents came in from Florida.
I saw that.
They're in their 70s. Winter isn't their thing anymore. Probably
Yep.
won't be coming back unless,
Right.
you know, so really just like all in on like making memories, taking pictures, cooking, having people around, running the dishwasher 872 times a day.
Yeah.
But I also had put, so maybe in a way, so I put on my calendar like um January 2nd,
Yeah.
sugar detox. So beginning of the year, I would do sugar detox.
Oh,
I had it
okay.
on my calendar, so it's like boom, I was all prep ready, had my meal prepping going. It's like, Happy New Year, drink the bubbles. Okay, tomorrow, chop up the fruits and veggies. We're going on a
Yep.
sugar detox. So that
Okay.
at least kept me like focused that like this isn't forever. This is
Right.
for this period. So
Right.
I guess
Yeah.
kind of not
Yeah.
really me
No, it
time, but
is.
intentional. Mhm.
Yeah.
What about you?
I did not have the luxury of taking much time off from work, but one of the things that I did during that time was an early Christmas present for my daughter was to go to the Women's National Volleyball Championship game in
Yeah,
Louisville, Kentucky.
fine.
And I say Louisville, and they're all gonna down that way are gonna be like, it's Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville. And so that was part of her Christmas present. So we left on like 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning and then went to the game, explored around town. I have a friend that lives down there. We stayed at a Verbo. We went to brunch with her the next day and did some shopping. And so that was like the one day off I took. It was a Monday before Christmas. And so that was kind of like a just like a fun getaway for
Nice.
both of us, and it was just kind of a break from all of the other things that were kind of going on. So
So,
yeah,
okay, I'm obsessed with Christmas, so let me get back to
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, I know that you buy yourself whatever you want. We've already talked about it. Did you receive anything like random or weird, like white elephant-ish, or just like homemade? Like these are the weirder the things, like the gaudier things are, the more I
Yeah.
like them. I'm curious where
So
your
we
vibe is
had there
in.
was there was one family event where actually Olivia and I missed it because it was on that weekend we went to the volleyball game. But this one side of my family, they don't do any gifts and they said just bring a white elephant and do an exchange. So we missed out on that one. So I did not go to that one, but I will tell you I did not get a white elephant gaudy kind of thing, but I did get this eye mask that you can see, but nobody else can see. This
Yeah.
thing is, it was like a uh, not spur of the moment,
Is
gift.
it
It
like
was
the is it like the infrared one?
no, it is it's got hot and cold
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. And it massages. It's got sound.
You have to drop a link for that. You have to
Like
drop a link for that.
it was an impulse buy, I guess my
Yeah.
husband said. And so it's way too heavy to just like stand up and put it on. So I have to lay down and have it on. But it like hot, cold, massages,
Yeah.
sound. There's all these different like modes you can put it in. And it's like sitting at a spa.
Dude, okay, first of all, I have a chronic medical condition, which is chronic dry eye. And
Uh-huh.
so I'm always looking at things for my eyes. I
Oh.
literally, my husband is so lucky. I sleep in goggles
Uh-huh.
for dry eye. And
Uh-huh.
I also sleep in one of those chin masks too. I'll just have to take a picture of how sexy I look. And in the winter, I sleep in white cotton gloves to keep my hands from getting dry. But like I'm always looking at stuff for my eyes because
Uh-huh.
being on computers all day, like
Yes.
the bright fluorescent lights, like I'm
Hmm.
a hot mess. I'm using Restasis twice a day, like all of the things. So I
Oh
need
my
you to drop
gosh.
a link for that because maybe I
Yeah.
also need to add that to my eye regimen.
I think that that would probably be a good choice. I just used it in like the preset modes, but I know that you can modify all the different kinds. So it's like this is pretty it's pretty
And
cool.
and you
So
don't even have a chronic medical condition like
I
I do.
don't. I don't. It was just more for like pretending I'm at the spa. And then I have this one of those back pillows or one of those square pillows that either you can sit on or you can like lay on and it vibrates. So like I could put that under the middle of my back, my lower back rather. I could put that on and I can just feel like I'm whisked away to the spa
Now that
on my
I'm
own
thinking about
couch
it,
or
when
my
they
bed.
say, does anyone need more time to board the airplane, I should be like, I have a chronic medical condition. I need more time.
I need a little bit more time.
Chronic dry eye, very
Yeah.
dry.
Oh, all right. All right. Let's bring it on back here. So thinking about the upcoming year,
Hmm.
if we had to pick, well, let's start with you. If you had to pick a word or a theme for your year ahead, what would
Hmm.
it be and why?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Like, do you do a word
Um,
of the year? Do you do that?
I have done a word of the year, and I love the book One Word.
Yeah.
It's a great book, and I haven't really thought about it this year. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, it would be present. Like I want to
Mm,
be
yeah.
present. Like I'm just feeling like like I said, like my daughter
Yep.
leaving, going off to college. Just as you get older, you're like, my parents are aging, you know, friends are doing different things. Some are thinking about retiring, and it's like,
Yep.
how do you soak in all the memories and all the time? Because it's so easy to get focused on all the bad shit. Like I've been super open. Like the election did not turn out the way that I want. I went through like
Yep.
a serious depression, like, oh my
Yep.
God. But at the end of the day, like it is what it is. And so
Yep.
instead of focusing on, oh my God, the sky is falling, like
Yeah.
how can I be present with like the beauty in life and the people that I'm so fortunate to have? So I would say if I had to pick one, that would be mine. What about you?
I like the word of the year too. And so last year mine was networking, so
Hmm.
networking and communication were the things. But this year it's community. It's community
Oh.
is my word and my theme. And it's all encompassing. It's being more involved in some of the causes and the groups that are meaningful to me. It's being
Hmm.
more involved with finding finding or reconnecting with different groups of people and
Hmm.
friends
Hmm.
that maybe I've lost track of or just not intentionally set time to spend time with.
Right.
Um, just people in general,
Hmm.
I think, just spending more time with people. I think that, I've talked to friends who they just cannot take any more Zoom meetings or
Yep.
WebEx calls or anything
Yep.
like they just need to be around actual physical people. And
Hmm.
I don't know that I feel necessarily quite that extreme because I mix up my worlds that way, but just people, just
Hmm.
community and
Right.
causes and just connection, true
Hmm.
connection.
Right.
With like I said, it's family, it's friends, it's causes, it's groups, it's all that. Just yeah,
I like
community.
it.
Yep.
We're very similar that way.
I know we are. All right, let's see. Let let me think about. We kind of talked about kind of talked about New Year's.
Hmm.
Um, you said New Year's Eve, you kind of just stayed in, but you guys did stay awake, or at least you
Hmm.
caught the last minute of,
I did,
did
yeah.
you, I know we're kind of bouncing back on, holidays here, but like, did you have a dream New Year's Day? Did you have
Um,
that for this year? Because you were still off work, or if
yeah.
not, like what would you have done maybe different to start the year off with a bang?
I just like to be at home. So I would say in that respect, it's like I did have a dream. It's like, when is the
Mhm.
last time I showered? Yeah, okay, I'm not sure. Perfect. Um, but like when you go so much, like just
Yeah,
having those like sitting around in my wearable blanket in
yeah.
my slippers. So in that respect, it really was good. I think this next year I'm gonna back off on some of the hosting I do. Like I
Hmm.
love having people over, I love hosting, I love doing stuff, but
Yeah.
it becomes a lot of pressure. And so for me, maybe, with that going back in mind of being present, okay,
Hmm.
how can I be present and like not be working myself to death so that I can't get anything done? You know what I mean? So,
Well, let me add
um,
one more thing to that, since we kind of already have, touched on New Year's a little bit,
mhm,
but let's shift it a little bit and say, like, if you could go back to yourself in January of 2024,
mhm.
um, is there one piece of advice that you would give yourself at that point, knowing that
Um,
we've passed through the whole year? Like, what,
that's
you
such
go
a good
back to that, what's one piece of
question.
advice would you give yourself?
I think for me, and it's kind of like the same advice I try to give myself, but I get so I don't know what the word is. I'm so committed to things that like I'll get like really worked up. Like at the end of
Yeah,
the day, does it really matter?
right.
You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
is this gonna matter in 48 hours? Is this gonna
Yeah.
matter in a week? Is this gonna matter in a quarter or whatever? Because there's like moments where I can see myself where I get really attached to things and it's like I don't want to give things the time to work themselves out. Like I want to fix it. I
Hmm.
want to do it. And sometimes you just need
Yeah.
time. Like sometimes you
Yeah.
just need time. And so like let it go. Like let it work itself out. Like does it really matter? But
Hmm.
that's a lesson that, I'm still very much in the midst of trying to learn.
I am as well. 100%. 100%. Yes, I have been told that I try to fix things and I need to stop. And yeah, so just kind of let it go and just let time
Yeah,
take its course and let things be and not get so worked up. I'm right there with you, sister.
I can
Right
get,
there with you.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. My phone was
Yep.
just ringing for a second. I'm so
Huh?
popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get my blood pressure rolling really quick. All right, I want to
Yeah.
ask this last question, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna let our listeners go.
Okay.
What are you most excited to try or experience in 2025? Keep it keep it appropriate, Amy.
Well, you're the only one that could see the video. So, throughout this end of this last year, especially you and I have touched a lot on the topic of burnout, how we've
Mm-hmm.
kind of been either at the edge or maybe gone over the edge or kind of recovering from in one form or another. And so it's a hot topic, but it's been on my heart and mind for quite some time to do this to do a workshop about
Mm-hmm.
helping women with burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've created that, I've crafted that, I've decided I'm launching that in February. I've put out feelers for different places that I can host it throughout the year. I've narrowed it down to 6 weeks. I've got the outline for it. I'm creating the worksheets for it. And even though those aren't done yet and it's not like completely ready, I'm going to like put it out there and have a wait list started for those who want to sign up for it. And I'm super excited to be able to launch that because it's been on my heart and mind to do. And I think that there's so many women that can relate to it. I mean, we push
Yeah.
ourselves and we get to the point where we just cannot take anymore. And, you know, even for me talking about community and want to be connected to something that's important to me and a cause that's meaningful and not be you being present, you know, just
Mhm.
trying to just find the things that are most important and not spend so much time on the things that aren't going to mean anything
Right.
and just pushing ourselves and not giving ourselves grace and incorporating more self, you know, both of us have written journals about self-love and acceptance.
Hmm.
And good Lord, we could probably read our own journals
Yeah.
and learn a few things. I know I
Yeah.
could,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
For
know, so
sure.
just kind of, I don't know, creating that space for women to be able to, I don't come and learn and see that it's okay. And we're calling it burnout. Me and the mouse in my pocket. I'm calling it burnout to breakthrough. And that's like that. If I had to name one thing, I think that's probably the one thing is just getting that finally out there and then seeing where it goes. Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I can't wait to hear all about it. Well,
Well, you
Amy,
will.
we have so many great ideas for the
I
podcast.
know.
And I was already thinking, like, we need to do something on the hybrid workforce. We need to do something on the book that I'm going to be reading.
Yep.
We need to do something on, money, all these things. So
Mm.
I have a lot of
Yeah.
great ideas. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
2025 is going to be amazing.
Yes.
Can't wait. Um, and I'm so excited to do this with you again.
No, me too.
So fun, so
Me
fun.
too. This is starting. Yeah. So what is it? February 14th, we launched officially, right? That first year. It was on
Yeah, we'll
Valentine's
call it
Day.
that. I don't
It was.
remember, but yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
great.
So we're
Time
coming up.
goes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, you
Good to
stunning
catch up.
souls. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of another journey together on Wild Her Wisdom podcast. Don't let the conversation stop here. Keep the inspiration flowing by connecting with us on social media. I'm going to see if Amy will drop the link to her eye mask in there. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram for a dose of empowerment and updates. And for those of you who just can't get enough, head on over to wildherwisdom.com. There you can connect with us, stay up to date on all our latest adventures, and catch up on episodes you may have missed. So until next time, keep embracing your wild and exploring your wisdom. Remember, you are capable, you are resilient, and you are amazing.
Amazing. Good to see
Keep
you, my friend.
shining. You too. Have a great, great, great rest of your day. And
You
we'll
too.
see you back here very soon.
Yeah.